Travis, the defense got some stops last week in the second half. You know, that's been a kind of a preaching point or a point of emphasis in the offseason and coming through the season. So what is that kind of a step forward for this defense?
Yeah, I mean, last year it's not a lot too many starters that played last year on the defense now. Basically feel new, inexperienced guys is willing to work. We preach finishing the game a lot. So we just came out there focused and made big plays.
In the fourth quarter, when it is kind of crunch time and you know you've got to get a stop in order to hold on and win the game, is there conversation, is there chatter about that among you guys saying, look, we got to stop these guys, we've got to get this to win the game? I mean, you talk about that, what are those conversations like?
I mean, it's just to keep everybody focused, you know, everybody stay focused. You don't want to lose composure. You got to know how to carry yourself when you in tight situations like that. So I try to bring the energy. As a team, we try to bring energy to the field and to keep everybody motivated and knowing what they got to do.
Yeah, you mentioned how everybody's new. Did they even talk about last year, or is it just because so many guys are new that it's just kind of easy to turn the page?
Last year haven't really been spoken about as far as the defense because it's a whole new year and a whole new team. So everybody's just playing their role and getting out there.
Mark talked about the momentum, Travis, a little bit just from the defensive standpoint. You guys, you know, bend a little bit, you didn't break them, but can you just talk about the momentum of the defense?
Yeah, when we go out there and see our offense do good and be successful, that motivates us. So, and that the momentum swing to us, and then we gotta go out there, do our part, and get the offense back on the field, try to do the 3 and outs, and just maintain focus.
Can you sense the momentum building a little bit this week in practice?
Yeah, momentum. Yeah, it's getting rowdy because everybody talking about Indiana State and how good they are. So we want to get after them boys and go 1-0 every week.
What is it that you either see or feel about the defensive improvement right now?
We got great leadership with Andrew Johnson, Obina, and Daniel Stewart. He's stepping up as a great player. We got Davion Rogers playing a great role at the sound linebacker. And John Sasson and myself, we all bringing energy. And we just working hard, playing as a unit.
How much does having that pass rush, you mentioned some of those guys like Obina and the rest of the guys, they're getting that pressure on the quarterback, make your job easier?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with them boys up front, they make it a lot easier because they could take on 2 guys and leave us free. And that's what the linebackers want. As long as we got that, we would do pretty well.
What's the biggest thing the defense still has to improve on, though? Because obviously you did give up 27 points, so there were some things that need some work.
The biggest thing I see is basically knowing where you got to be. The alignments wise, it was some alignments that we had a little shaky on that we could have been there and would have made the play if we was there. But other than that, everybody shows good hustle to the ball, and we finished pretty well. So other than that, and grabbing the quarterback, I mean, we had sacks in the backfield, which could have been big for us, and we didn't have a quarterback. So, I mean, other than that.
Speaking of quarterbacks, one this week, some say could be the best in the league. But you know, what have you seen with Fouch, what he does?
I heard he can throw the ball very well. So what we would do, hopefully we get a lot of pressure on him off the edges and up the middle, make him step up and come right into us. We could just force bad passes, play good coverage on the outside.
This team has never lost on the road at Indiana State. Does that put a little more pressure on you guys to come back with a victory?
I ain't know that, but because I'm new. But yeah, that's even bigger. You know, like I said, we look to be a on the road team and to go undefeated every week, man. 1-0 every week. 1-0 every week.
What makes it so difficult to play on the road?
Not having your crowd behind you make it difficult. I mean, for the freshmen, being in a different environment and not knowing what's the obstacles and stuff coming up going on the road, so that makes it a little different.
Is it difficult, Travis, because a lot of young players are playing, maybe some of them weren't here last year, you're going to a new facility, new scenery. I mean, were you there? You weren't there 2 years ago. So how do you approach it when you go into a facility you've never seen before?
I mean, coming from Miami, the University of Miami, I traveled a couple games, so knowing what the crowds be like and what type of energy they bring, it's a lot of excitement. And going to Michigan State on the away game, it's a lot of excitement. I think for us, we go feed off their crowd energy because we're emotional. We play with a lot of emotion on the field, so we'll feed off their crowd energy and that'll get us pumping.
I mean, I know it's football. You know, once the game starts, it really that doesn't come into play. I mean, stadiums or anything like that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you've been in bigger stadiums, so.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
You talked about their quarterback. What overall, what is the most daunting thing about their offense, and how do you neutralize it?
I mean, for me, I'm not really worried about the quarterback. I know my front line do pretty well pressure him. My job is to tackle the back, and we'll get to that little speedy back, and we'll wrap him up, and put some pads on him, body on the body.
What's the transition been like for you? I mean, how do you compare playing at Miami, even though you didn't see game action, to this level?
Well, I mean, playing for the U and going against the ones and doing spring ball, starting out there, I mean, it's like game action, you know. The backs here are actually bigger than all the Miami backs I done went against, so that transition is like a big part of being that I'm not a real big linebacker, you know, but I get after the ball, so it's been cool.
Pretty okay.